Hi, welcome to my video presentation. I'm Dr. Winkle, and today we're going to be discussing and critiquing a commercial from a fast food company, in particular McDonald's, and analyze how that can affect eating behaviors. We're going to be looking mainly with children and how that can shape them in future years to possibly be obese and possibly have an eating disorder. But first, let me give a little background on obesity in our country right now. We have a standard American diet, SAD diet, that so many children are on. Parents often buy junk food. Sometimes they buy it because of their economic status. Maybe that's all they can afford. Sometimes foods that are healthy can be more expensive. But as parents, we should be educating and encouraging our children to eat healthier. And there's different parenting styles. I'll give a little background before we go into the commercial here, but there's different parenting styles that you have when you talk about encouraging or helping your children develop good eating behaviors. One parenting style is called the authoritarian parenting style, and that's pretty much do as I say, clean your plate. That's not a good way of teaching our children. A lot of times that will backfire because they're under such strict rules that later, as they become young adults and adolescents, that they tend to go the other direction and they binge eat on junk food and stuff because they never had it before. They were never exposed to it. Another parenting style is the permissive style, and that's basically just allowing your kids to eat whatever they want, whenever they want, no matter what the nutritional value is. And obviously, that's not a good way of doing it either. I prefer the authoritative parenting style when it comes to eating, because what it does is it establishes some guidelines. It allows you to introduce healthy foods to your children, but yet have some guidelines there. And if they want to eat a certain type of junk food or whatever, allow that within reason. And if there's a food they don't like, don't force it on them. And that's going to establish better eating behaviors and less problems later in life. But overall, we just have to understand that we do have to set a good example for our children. Now, we're fixing to watch this video of the commercial, so I'm going to go ahead and play that, and then we'll come back and we'll analyze the commercial. So, here we go.
Okay, buddy, I'm going to say 14th time's a charm. Here we go. You got it. Flush.
Celebrate life's favorite moments with a McDonald's Happy Meal. Unbox your dreams with friends from some of your favorite Disney and Pixar movies. You can get an awesome toy based on some of the coolest characters and the goodness of milk in every McDonald's Happy Meal.
Okay, so as you can see from the video, that basically the father is helping the child ride the bicycle, and at the other end of the sidewalk is the mother holding up the Happy Meal for the child to successfully ride the bicycle. And that's actually a reward, using a reward for behavior, and with the reward being food. Now, I got to give credit where credit is due. McDonald's, there has been pressure on a lot of the fast food companies and even food manufacturers in general to provide healthier options for children. And so in this commercial that I just played, they did show that there's milk and apple slices, but that's 50% of the meal, and whether whole milk or whatever is totally nutritious is up for debate. But expecting children or continually providing a reward in the form of food is very unhealthy for the child. It can, if you do this continuously, basically physiologically in our brain, what happens is it targets our reward center in our brain, which releases serotonin and dopamine. Also, a lot of these foods are high in sugar and fat, and that can also increase the amount of serotonin that is released. So those are happy chemicals or feel-good chemicals that are circulating in our system after we get a meal of this nature. And so when you do that over a period of time, that reward into adolescence, young adult, and into adulthood becomes just rewarding yourself, regardless if you've accomplished a goal or if you just feel bad. You had a bad day at work, going through bad times economically, divorce, whatever the case may be. But you basically reward yourself. So you come home at the end of a long, grueling day and you say, hey, I want cake, or I want ice cream, or I want cookies. And then when you do that, you get that effect. Now, that is a very similar effect to what a drug addict would have. When they use the drug, they get the feel-good chemicals and the surge in serotonin and dopamine, and they like that. And so later on, that is something that's repeated to get that same effect. So you can see that rewarding children with food can be very disastrous. It can contribute to obesity and food addiction. And food addiction is real. Now I'm going to play another commercial that's controversial. It's done in Australia. And it really hammers home just how important it is to feed our children good foods and not junk food, because it can contribute to poor health, obesity, and can go on into their lifetime. But before I play this, I do want to talk a little bit about food addiction, and I just did this in my discussion post this week in our class, but I'm addicted to ice cream. I have fond memories of my mother when I didn't feel good or I had a bad day. She would give me ice cream. And not only just any ice cream, but fluffed ice cream to like a Dairy Queen consistency when I was really feeling bad. And so throughout my life, when I felt bad, as I got older, I still turn to ice cream. And I currently still turn to ice cream at times. But I've really been on a serious health quest for quite a few years now. And I have taken some of those foods that I crave. Ice cream is my food addiction. And substituted that with healthier versions of like smoothie bowls with Greek yogurt, and so healthier options, and that always is a good way of substituting some of those food addictions. But to close out this video, I'm going to play this commercial, and then you can think about it. But like I said, some people don't like this commercial. Some people find it controversial, but it's very powerful. So enjoy the commercial, and thanks for listening to my video presentation today.